Linda Segal Crawley.
Yes,
You are born in Davenport, Iowa,
correct.
and you are an actor and a writer. And you're also funny. Linda, how come you're funny?
Well, people laughed at me from a very, very early age. They said I sounded like Donald Duck, and they just thought I was funny. I was not trying to be funny. I didn't especially like being funny. But then I thought, well, I guess it's a good thing, and so then I tried to learn how to be funny. I wanted people to laugh with me, not at me. So then I made it my business to figure out how to do that.
And how does a person do that?
I have no idea.
So you think you have to be born with it, really?
Oh, I think that, yes. Yeah. I mean, comedic techniques can be learned, but some people have something that's funny about them intrinsically. Is that the word?
Yes, it sounds like a very good
Yes.
word.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Now, because you act and you write, what's harder, to act or to write? What do you reckon?
Well, very hard to answer. They're both immensely difficult.
Okay, so they're equally difficult.
Well, they're difficult in different ways. Acting, there's a technique, and it's a craft. Not that writing isn't a craft. It is, but when it's your own ideas that you're trying to get across, it's very different than trying to recreate an experience that is already laid out for you. You can bring your own personal. With writing, well, I will say that writing is more fascinating than acting because there's it's your own ideas. It's more challenging. I mean, but acting is very challenging too because the technique is to try to recreate something very complicated, very challenging. I find it less rewarding, I can say that.
The acting?
Yeah, much less rewarding.
When you say less rewarding, what are you telling me? What do you mean by less rewarding? Well, you're rewarded by the audience loves you. You mean personally less rewarding?
Because a lot of actors say, oh, the applause. When I hear the applause. And to me, when I was full-time acting and just dreaming about writing, I thought the applause doesn't do it for me. I'm always thinking that could have been better. The applause comes and goes. But when you have ideas, when you have things you want to say, when you really would like to say things that you believe you see and other people don't see, that the whole idea that you're trying to teach, really, it's more of a teaching kind of a thing. That is immensely challenging. Just the attempt to do that. When you've been doing it as long as I've been doing it without worldly success, you come to grips with, well, I may not get my ideas across, or some people seem to appreciate it, but others don't know what the F I'm talking about.
But what I've seen your stuff and whatever, and it does come to some sort of fruition. So, when something doesn't come to fruition, I think of it as not even giving it a bash. Do you understand? If it would just stay in your head.
But I've been bashing at some of the same plays for 40 years. Yes, I'm reworking these plays. There's a sense of gratification that I feel in recent years. I'm beginning to be able to express these ideas in a way that at least is resonating with more people. It does than I did years ago. but you're collaborating, both as a writer and as an actor. So you have to learn how to, and you have to have collaborators.
I always say it's like a marriage.
Exactly. Yes.
You got to find the right partner. That's
Yeah.
not easy.
Well, absolutely. But actually, you need more than one partner. I mean, your director.
So it's a polyamorous marriage.
There you go. There you go. And what could be more complicated, more challenging than something like that?
Polyamory.
I think it was Zola who said that theater is the best medium for, I think he said, propaganda. Humans do evolve with their ideas over centuries. And there's an opportunity to contribute to that evolvement with an illustration of an idea. But to accomplish that is immensely challenging, but immensely exciting.
That's a beautiful definition, Linda.
It isn't funny.
No, but
See, I'm a very serious person, and I was serious. I wanted to be taken seriously. But I found, to go back to your original thing, that people would pay attention if I made them laugh.
funny, underneath funny, is deadly serious.
Absolutely.
If you've got nothing to say, it's hard to write anything.
Some do.
Now, how long have you been in New York?
Well, I came, my first visit to New York was 1954, and I moved here in 1959, 5 years later.
You were 22 in 19...
And 59 when I moved here.
And New York has changed how?
Just constantly changing. Constantly changing. New York has gone through periods. I love, I'm always fascinated by the movies of New York in the 30s and the 40s. What a gritty place it was. And yet it was immensely romantic. Even then, with all the grit, it was it's just, I haven't been all over the world, but in my opinion, it's the most exciting place on this planet that ever was, or will be.
I 100% agree with you in this.
And in the midst of all of that creativity that was always possible in New York, anything is possible, but there's also the possibility of anonymity. Such a mix of different kinds of people living different kinds of lives. That just offers this wonderful opportunity. People come to New York to get away from societal pressures. And if you can't get away from them in New York City, you can't get away from them.
And I thank you for having our little chat.
It's not funny.